everybody, Gamer Penny here, bringing you another episode of our Final Fantasy XIV online Let's Play, and we are back with Vesper, and today we're going to continue on the main story quest. So we got really sidetracked doing the Puppet's Bunker, but it's time to get back to the MSQ. So, Warrior of Darkness, if you've finished helping Riki, won't you show us some fighting? Not play fighting, but honest to God's fighting? We already have some enemies you can deal with. Vampire bats. The guards say they've become a pest around the Crystarium of late. We tried to sneak outside to hunt them, but the guards caught us and sent us home. But they shouldn't mind if you were doing the fighting and we were just watching. The children told us much while you were away, and in preparation, Chesamil kindly furnished us with some lures for the bats. While the creatures won't give you any sport, bear in mind that the younglings will be watching. That's to say, put on a good show, yes? Right, let's head outside at once. Everyone, follow me. I'll say, wait, just a... come on then, children. Alice is ready to... ready to party. The Exarch Gate. Straight out this way. But for the Puppet's Bunker, I actually had to travel to Jenova. So you can see I am visiting Jenova, which is where my main character was and where we were before we server transferred. I had to wait over an hour for Puppet's Bunker on Helicanarsis, and I couldn't get a I couldn't get a group, so I visited Jenova, and it said it was going to be over 30 minutes, but then it was almost instant, so just a heads up that if you're going to do some of those side alliance quests like I am, and you're on the new server, or the new data center, it could take a while. Everyone's here. Good. Let's get started, shall we? As their name suggests, vampire bats feed on blood, and originally being nocturnal creatures, they've grown more active with the return of night and become a nuisance. To draw them out, we'll use Chesamil's lures, which work by exploiting their heat-seeking behavior. The bats are wont to nest under the eaves, so we are like to attract more if you place the lures near buildings. I have here 6 lures, 3 for each of you and me. As proof of a successful kill, I want you to gather up their fangs. Whoever collects the most is the winner. Oh, you're hunting too? Yes, well, there's nothing like friendly competition to bring out the best in Vesper. Anyway, while we hunt the bats, you two are to stay with Reen. She's really strong too, and will keep you safe. Without further ado then, let the contest begin. Alright. Let's go get these bats taken care of. Okay. Alright, where is Wing Sauce? There you are. Eat lure. So I've got our glam for Endwalker all figured out. It was one of the things I was doing while I was waiting for the queue for Puppet's Bunker. Okay, there's one. I am gonna Fantasia, and I think I've asked this before what we should Fantasia as when we get to Endwalker. I think I have it narrowed down to either a higher or a bun. Back to a bun bun. Oh my god, there's 3 of them. Boom, boom, boom. I guess we are in competition, so the more the better. We'll go get this one over here. Oh, it said near structures, right? So if we want to beat Alice, we should do them near structures. Let's do this one. I don't care if we don't win. Whoops. One, two, three. Ba 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 ba. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. There we go. Go back and tell the kids. Tell the kiddos that we did all this. And I'm not going to show you the glam. I'll show you the glam when we get there. I'm still probably tweaking it a little bit. Elsie's not back yet? Well fought, Vesper. The children were hanging on your every move. As was I, to be honest, though I know the tally. May I see your fangs for good measure? Apologies for the wait. My fangs, not a bad haul, even if I do say so myself. Five, six, seven fangs from Alice. I got 7 too. Which means that we have a draw. Vesper also collected 7 fangs. Arg, why does this feel even worse than losing? Just another measly fang and victory would have been mine. Don't look so surprised. I've no intention of remaining lost in your wake forever, you know. So, children, you have now seen the Warrior of Darkness in action. What are your impressions? She's incredible, miss. The bats were down before they knew it. Our guards are strong, but the Warrior of Darkness is much, much stronger. We want to be just like her. Good. If you're looking for an example to emulate, you may as well pick the best. I want you to remember how you felt when you watched Vesper, and train hard. Keep at it for long enough and you'll be strong too. If you don't mind telling us, when did you decide you wanted to become Warriors of Light? Well, we were there listening with everyone when Ardbert appeared, but I've wanted to be strong since before I came to the Crystarium. The Sin Eaters killed my father and my sister, see, and I promised myself I'd learn how to protect people one day. Like Ardbert said, this is our home. We're the ones who have to protect it. We're the ones who have to rise up as new Warriors of Light. And what about you, Arkle? Me? To be honest, I'm still not sure what I want to do. But if my friends were in trouble, I know that I would want to help them. And I want to go on adventures with them, see the world together. That's a wonderful goal. You really think so? It's hard to explain, but it's something I felt when I saw the star shower the other day. I felt as though there was something I'd lost, and that I had to go out there and find it. Well, for the both of you, there's nothing for it but to train. When we return to the city, I'll teach you some exercises you can do by yourselves. Thanks for showing us your fighting skills, Warrior of Darkness. We'll never forget it. Cute kids. I understand how Archon feels. The star shower didn't awaken me to Heidelin's voice, but that vision of the final days of Amarot burning, it filled me with sadness to the very pit of my being. Things I once knew, people I once loved, promises I once made. It felt as though long-forgotten memories were dancing at the edges of my mind. But when I try to focus on them, they simply fade away. An effect of having a fractured soul, I shouldn't doubt. But lest you worry, I'm perfectly happy to remain fractured and have no intention of donning an Ascian mask. I just wish we knew what Elidibus was plotting. Ha, but look at this pair of incurable brooders. If we're gonna stand around lost in thought, we may as well do it back in the city. Rest assured, Reen and I will take the children from here. Their heads will be in the clouds after meeting you, but we'll see to it their feet remain firmly planted on the ground. Uh-oh. Ugh. It's nothing, just a dizzy spell. Seems I tried a little too hard to beat you. I'm fine now, not to worry. I'll see you soon. As you ponder Alisaie's words, you are taken by an urge to revisit the scene of that fateful meeting. Okay. So we're missing Ardbert. I do miss him. And it is up there, I think. Bum 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 bum. Nothing. Oh.
Why am I... Was it you who called me here?
On behalf of the convocation, I bid you welcome to our order. At times you will stand with us. At times you will stand against us. All that you might steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. For yours is the seat of Elidibus, the emissary, and by this name shall your every action be guided. Dang. That's the first time we've had an Ascian echo, huh?
My memories. No matter. You will have found little of import. But I see you intended to summon me here no more than I intended to come. The fault is mine. Such is the burden of hope.
Give back Ardbert's body.
What fool would relinquish his weapon on the eve of battle? That which I do is no different from that which you have done so many times, Warrior of Darkness. I arm myself, I hone my skills, I make ready to vanquish my enemy. You.
What? Don't have to be enemies.
You who have murdered my brothers, who have taken their
true.
selfless labors in service to the one true world and turned them to ash. I see you for what you are. You are death, and only in death shall you serve any purpose.
Dang.
The Convocation charged me to steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. As Elidibus, it is my duty, and I shall see it done.
I'm already getting emotional for Endwalker.
I will strike you down. Destroy you body and soul. All else must wait. Ere long I will come for you, Warrior of Darkness, and I will save the world. One last matter.
Yes?
I bore witness to your final struggle with Emetselk. It seemed as if he saw something familiar in you. As if he mistook you for another.
Ithlodeus called me his new old friend.
No. I recall not of whom he spoke.
Really?
Mayhap I never knew you. Or mayhap it is another fragment lost.
Ah, I wasn't aware you already had a guest. If the conversation is constructive, I shall not intrude.
Hello, Graha.
But if you seek to stir up trouble, Elidibus, then I must insist you leave at once.
Must you?
Though you lack her blessing, your soul is surprisingly dense.
Worry not. I seem to be unharmed.
I don't remember that part. I got very worried.
This is my own doing. The consequence of my recent exertions. It is the Tower's way of compensating me for the demands I have placed on it. Rest assured, it is no great inconvenience at present. Indeed, I told Beck Lug as much, but they would not be persuaded and sent me away to rest. No need to make a fuss. Strange as it may sound, I consider it something of a badge of honor. One of the brave souls who saw me delivered unto the first once said that the world shall ever have a place for tales of heroism so long as we have need of inspiration in our lives. Though he and his fellows had no way of knowing whether their mad scheme would amount to anything, they knew that the attempt alone would inspire hope. Or so they hoped. A more optimistic lot one would be hard-pressed to find. They said they would find a means to save our God's forsaken world, just as soon as they had sent me on my way. said it with such confidence that, for a fleeting moment, I half believed them. Such faith, such courage in the face of unrelenting despair. For a long time, it was more than I could bear to remember them. But having come this far, having sent full many on their way myself, I see things more clearly. To take action is to hope. To believe, to choose to believe, is to take the first step towards a brighter future. And why do I tell you this? Because I want you to indulge me in a little recklessness. Needless to say, I have a plan. And when all is said and done, I will ask yet another favor of you.
You're both here. Oh, thank goodness.
What's the matter?
What's wrong?
It's Thancred. He's collapsed.
Oh no. Okay. I don't remember what comes after this stuff. The fates seem determined not to allow us a quiet moment. But come, let us have the details from Reen. Starium, fending, maiming, striking. It happened after Alisay and I saw the children back to Spagrix. We chanced to meet Thancred there, returning from his mission. He'd been shadowing Elidibus around the realm, only to lose sight of him near the Crystarium. And he was in the middle of telling us where he'd been when he just crumpled to the ground. Chirurgeons are looking after him now, and Alphino standing by, just in case his healing magics are needed. Since I couldn't do anything to help, I thought it best to find you, and the guard at the Exedra told me where to look. I see. It cannot have been easy leaving Thancred's side. My thanks for bearing word to us. Come, let us hurry to Spagrix. Alright. Let me jump. Oh, my stomach dropped. Ouch. Ow. Alright, let's go check in on Thancred. Oh, the music. They dragged you here too, did they? My apologies. How do you feel? Embarrassed, but otherwise well enough. I won't be staying overnight. This episode was not the result of any injury I could find. Thancred's Aether, however, did show signs of instability, and I did what I could to calm the influctuations. And all this happened without warning? Not exactly. You'll doubtless recall the time Urianger nearly drowned and I gallantly went to his rescue. When his water-walking charm failed, he was tired, as were you when you got back. We were both spent, yes, on account of which you begged us to rest, which, in retrospect, may have been a good idea. The fact is, I've been experiencing regular bouts of lightheadedness ever since, but there are no actual fainting until now. As Alphino observed, I have no lingering injuries, and it most assuredly isn't old age, which leaves but one likely cause. The link between body and soul has weakened further. Time grows short. We must complete the spirit vessel with all haste. To that end, Vesper, might I trouble you to make a trip to the source? In addition to looking in our friends' bodies, I would have you consult Kryl about our plan. If she has any concerns, we should at least endeavor to address them prior to proceeding. In the meantime, we should get back to laying bare Elidibus's plot. Thus far, I have learned this much, that in each of the places he has visited, there have been sightings of suspicious black-clad strangers. Moreover, the coming of these shady individuals has invariably coincided with some manner of misfortune. Beasts terrorizing settlements, blight ravaging crops, you know the sort of thing. All of which serves rather conveniently to make Elidibus's call for new heroes reverberate that much more loudly in the hearts of his audience. Do you think these black-clad strangers are Ascians? I do, and I fully intend to investigate further, though for that I shall require additional feet on the ground. You can count on mine. God knows I've been itching to get out there for a while. Mayhap Urianger too can be prevailed upon to join in your efforts. He has already provided copious guidance on the matter of the spirit vessel's construction. It is for Beck Lug and I to wrestle with the rest. Well, if you can spare the old boy, we may as well make use of him. I'll go and give him the good news. You'll do no such thing. However heedless you are of your own well-being, if you at all care for Reen's feelings, you'll stay in bed until you're needed. Elfino and I will find Urianger. All being well, we will have news to share with you by the time you return. Safe travels, Vesper. Okay, back to the source. Let's go to the Rising Stones. Help. There we go. Look at that thing. Where do you get that mount? Is that a store mount? Alright, Tataru. Vesper, what excellent, I mean awful timing. You see, our friends, they've taken a turn for the worse. Ryle's hardly had a moment's rest these past few days. She didn't want everyone to worry, so we've been keeping it quiet. Oh, but listen to me. I call myself a receptionist. I haven't even bothered to ask why you're here. So they think the spirit vessel will be ready soon, and they want to make sure there are no problems at this end. You'd better talk to Cryle. She's with the others in Dawn's Respite. Let's go and see her. Just prepare yourself, alright? Okay.
Excuse us.
Why should not have the lights on?
This way.
I would rather you hadn't seen this.
I'm sorry. We have urgent tidings.
No, I'm not angry with you. On the contrary, I know full well how hard everyone has been searching for a way to return home. And I had hoped to afford you the time you needed.
But we need to do it now, huh?
But given our friend's present state, perhaps it was for the best that you came. Stiff and cold, all of them. As if they were made of wax, barely alive at all. And they had been doing so well. Save for occasional signs of etheric instability, they appeared to be in passable health. Then, quite without warning, things took a turn for the worse. A change for which even Master Matoya could offer no explanation. She could only remind me that the soul is yet an unknown frontier, and that much and more lies beyond our ken. But let's not lose heart just yet. At times like these, it is all the more important that we remain positive. Why? I but this moment succeeded in quelling a fluctuation in Thancred's ether. And while the others have weakened, they have remained relatively stable. I believe I may leave my post for a moment. So come, let me hear your tale outside.
I wouldn't be comfortable leaving. I would stay in there. Dang. Our poor friends. Alright, Cryo. What news from the first? Bad. I see. Work on the spirit vessel proceeds apace, but our friends begin to falter. As they themselves have observed, the link between body and soul has weakened. It's as simple as that. For now, I'm still able to quell the fluctuations in their aether, but it's only a matter of time. We'll lose them if we don't act soon, so if the Exarch is ready to attempt something, let him attempt it. As for the spirit vessel itself, if we seek to draw upon Allegan wisdom, we could do worse than consult an expert in the field. And I think I know just the man. Time being against us, it may be best if I go and solicit his aid in person, even if it does mean leaving my patients. Vesper, could you spare a moment? While Cryo goes and finds this expert of hers, there's a gift I was hoping to send to our friends in the first, you see, and since we might be waiting a while, I wondered if you wouldn't mind giving me a hand with it. My first attempt turned out well, so now I'm going to make it properly. I'll be in the kitchen at the House of Splendors. Meet me there. Well, I had better be off too. I shall see you soon, either here or at the house, depending on how our patients fare in my absence. Okay, that's level 500 gear. I want to just look real quick. Dang. We've got 530 something or other. How many Allegan things do I have? We could probably buy more. If we're about to get 500 level gear, though. Why is it pink out here? Upstairs, probably. Look at her in her little chef outfit. Oh my gosh. There you are, Vesper. As I'm sure you've guessed, the gift is a bit of home cooking. Unlike Cryle, I can't do much to help our friends directly, but that doesn't mean I've been idle. No, I've been doing my best for the Order, taking on this job and that to keep our coffers full. I've even helped out with the Ishgardian restoration. And in the course of all this, my culinary skills have come on quite a bit. So I thought, why not make something for our friends? It's baking in the oven even as we speak. Shouldn't be long now. Wait, was that, was that Alpha? There, baked to perfection, even if I do say so myself. Smells great. Your cake looks like bread, it says. Doesn't it just? It's called Archon Loaf, in case you're wondering, and it's what they eat over in Sharlayan. Simple fare, I admit, but I thought it would remind our friends of home. Nothing else, Cryle tells me it's a good source of aether, so it should lend them a bit of strength at least. There truly is nothing like the smell of a bread fresh from the oven. Cryle, and if it isn't Rambros, too. I trust you require no introductions either, Vesper? No, we know Rambros. Greetings, my friend. Full glad am I to see you well. I confess I have a long list of questions to ask you, but I will endeavor to contain my curiosity for the present. I understand our mutual friend is struggling with the application of certain Allagan technologies. I have been keeping Rambros apprised of events in the First. Suffice it to say, he knows about the Exarch. If anyone alive can provide insight into this matter, it is him and his fellow sons. Loath am I to disappoint you after so glowing an endorsement. Memory transference was the sole province of Allagan royalty, its mechanisms closely guarded secrets. If any records of them remains, we have yet to find it. To wit, I regret that I can offer no solution to your problem. Which begs the question of why I bothered to come here empty-handed as I am, the answer being rather brazenly to ask a favor. I would have you relay a message to our comrade. Tell him that we never doubted him. Never doubted that he would achieve all that he said he would. Those of us who remained behind have yet to play our part. But when the time comes, he may rest easy in the knowledge that we will most assuredly do so. And then the tower shall shine once more as a beacon of hope in this world and beyond. So tell him that we consider his duty done, and that he should follow his heart now. Forgive me, but do you say this to discourage him from overexerting himself, or to encourage him to hold nothing back? That is for our friend to decide, but either way, I dare say a certain someone will be unimpressed. Well, there you have it, Vesper. If you would be so good as to see Rambros' message and Tataru's bread to their intended recipients, along with my report, of course. Cryle, before I wrap the bread, would you mind giving it a try, just to make sure everything as it should be? But of course, I'm always happy to lend my taste buds. Excuse me, Rambros. As a fellow Sharlayan, may I trouble you for your opinion? Well, I usually have mine with a good dollop of Roland Berry jam, but I suppose plain is best for sampling purposes. I see. Oh no, is it that bad? It is indeed, Tataru. Dense and unpleasant, exactly as it should be. Yeah, just so, the very taste of home. As you might expect, our countrymen have amassed a wealth of culinary wisdom from every corner of the world, but our native cuisine is, shall we say, a little lacking. In Sharlayan, the majority regard food as a source of nourishment rather than enjoyment. Save for those few who actually research the culinary arts, we pay little heed to the niceties of taste and texture. It was against such a gastronomic landscape that what is now called the Archon Loaf was born, the creation of an Archon who devoted himself to the study of bodily sustenance. In order to maximize its nutritional value, he incorporated copious quantities of pulverized fish and vegetable matter into the dough, all with nary a care for those qualities which make bread enjoyable. The result is a flavor that continues to defy description. Yet, for its many shortcomings, the loaf's natural or nutritional value cannot be denied, and being a damnably convenient way to cater to one's bodily needs, it quickly found an audience amongst busy scholars. Why, when I was a lad, nigh every meal was a sandwich made with this very bread, and whatever ingredients happened to be on hand. I suspect just about every Archon could say the same. Having been away from home for so long, I thought I might have forgotten the taste, but no, it is all too familiar. Ah, how it takes me back. There's enough. Perhaps you can spare some for the Exarch. He is certain to appreciate it. Oh, there's plenty to go around. I'll be sure to wrap up an extra slice. Vesper, when you deliver the loaf, please be sure to send everyone my regards. Tell them we're doing everything we can and that we'll be praying for their safe return until the moment they get back. I want some Archon though. That is Alpha. What are you doing here? Look at him. Are they always here? Or they just show up sometimes, these two? Alpha. That's cool. Alright, well, let's go give this loaf to him. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum. Exedra. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Alright. Go to the ocular. Give the loaf to the group. Oh, just the Crystal Exarch, I mean. Welcome back, my friend. How was your journey? By the 12 Archon loaf. However did you come by this? I'd swear it had come straight from Charlian. Rambros said that, did he? His words are very nearly as heavy as the bread, but I appreciate the sentiment. Should you have the chance, you may tell him that he needn't worry. That which I seek to do, I do of my own volition and with all my heart. In pursuing this path, I fully expect to earn the censure of our friends, and to deserve it, but I shall forge on regardless. Forge on as you yourself did when faced with similar predicament, so I ask that you have faith in me, in what we do. But we were talking about your journey. Before the others arrive, I would hear how their bodies fare. Oh, and the bread I shall save for later. Though it has been many years, I have not forgotten the feats of mastication required to consume it, nor how unconducive they are to conversation.
Forgive the delay.
We have visited every region and confirmed the presence of Ascians throughout the realm.
Lest a grave predicament be made to seem hopeless, it should be noted that they are of inferior rank. The Black Masked minions who answer to the Red.
Yes, a gaggle of schemers attempting to exploit recent events, to sow the seeds of petty conflict. Fortunately, nothing of any great concern has come of their meddling just yet.
We also encountered a number of the Crystarium's former defenders, busily solving this problem and that in a bid to become warriors of light.
Their zeal is to be applauded. 'Tis but a pity I cannot encourage them on their course.
Not knowing Elidibus set them upon it, no. Both the troubles to be solved and the villains to be vanquished are his doing too, like as not. And so, with apologies to the aspiring warriors of light, I believe it best that we deal with the Ascians quickly and quietly.
I quite agree.
But tell us, what news from the source? How fare our bodies?
I'm gonna be honest with them.
Oh dear. Then we must redouble our efforts. Not that we've ever stinted in that regard.
This would seem an appropriate moment to ask about the spirit vessel. Tell me you've made some progress.
We have, as it happens. One moment.
The red stones. Then this doth mean...
For the benefit of all, permit us to explain. As you will recall, using white auracite as our starting point, we fashioned a vessel for mind and memory both. Yet, though it served this purpose admirably, the process of imbuing it with one's complete essence proved a somewhat thornier proposition. Simply put, the memory would not accompany the mind. And so, we looked to the Allagan's mastery of memory transference for a solution.
This approach was not without its own complications, however, relying as it does upon blood, which inanimate objects, notably, do not possess. We duly explored methods of suffusing the vessel with drops of the aforementioned. Alas, our painstaking experimentation succeeded only in making me feel faint, and singularly failed to imbue the crystal with the necessary properties. It was then that an idea occurred to me, namely that we might fuse the vessel not with normal blood, but with my crystallized essence.
Oh, dang, so that's like pieces of you?
You're doing this for our sakes. So far be it from us to complain. But don't think we haven't noticed what's happening to your arm.
Yep.
It falls well short of offering up my life in exchange for yours, which was your only stipulated prohibition, as I recall. And it is but a small price to pay for delivering you home.
Assuming it works, we shall soon know if this grisly addition will serve as a suitable conduit for the subject's memory. Though not soon enough to warrant your waiting. The test is like to take a while.
Let us be off then. We have Ascians to attend to, among other things.
Forgive me, but I count 6 vessels, and there are only 5 of us.
One is for testing purposes. I will personally use it to see whether the crystal functions as it should.
And if it does, wouldn't that mean that your soul could also return to the source?
Yes. In theory, at least.
Well, fantastic.
But there is a distinct difference between your circumstances and mine. While your corporeal forms want for souls, my past self does not. Mayhap our essences would blend, or mayhap they would curdle. There is no telling what might occur.
Oh. Oh, yeah,
And you'd be willing to take that risk?
I would.
I see.
Elsa's pissed at you, Graha. No one else is gonna say anything? And where's your Stola? Rest thou a moment, Vesper. I would speak with thee on the matter of the Exarch's mooted return unto the source. Thou wilt have observed that our friend spake not in certainties. Yet if Beck-Lug hath the right of it, 'tis possible to predict the outcome of his plan with some confidence. And it is their assessment that, given the opportunity, the Exarch's soul should successfully merge with that of his younger self. Which is not to say the process is without complications. For one, the Exarch hath been subjected to an additional rejoining, an experience which will have wrought a change in his ethereal composition. As thou thyself didst demonstrate in merging with Ardbert, however, there existeth an affinity twixt like souls, and this doth give us cause to hope. Yet there remaineth one immutable condition upon which success doth hinge. The Exarch must needs recognize his past self as simply that, himself. As our recent travails have demonstrated, memories are essential to the soul. Any discrepancy in the former may feasibly cause the latter to spurn its former flesh. 'Tis a seemingly simple yet complex problem. For nigh on a century, our friend hath striven only to deliver this realm, to deliver thee, and to that singular end did he cast aside his very name, that he might assume the mantle of the Crystal Exarch. Henceforth, none can say what choices our friend will make, but I thought it only right that thou be made aware of these truths. Thank you. Casting. Right then, while the Exarch literally pours his own sweat and blood into his allotted task, it seems only fair that we attend to our own. Dealing with Elidibus and his minions. Just so, and there is one other matter. In light of her tutoring health, Y'shtola should not be left alone at Ander. Might I oh, that's right. Might I trouble you to visit her, Vesper? See that all is well? I would go myself, but I think she might be safer in the hands of one less prone to collapsing. My thanks. You may leave the Asians to us. Once they are out of the way, we will retire to Yulmore, and when Y'shtola has finished plumbing the depths, I'd like the two of you to join us there. If you are bound for Ander, I suggest you go via Venmont Yards. Our friends there would glad to provide a boat for you. Let us be on our way then. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Wait, I have a gift from you from Tataru. I gotta say this. I have a delivery from the source, Kupo, courtesy of one Tataru Taru. You're a long way from home, Moogle. And this is from Tataru, is it? Whatever could it be? Archon, Loaf, thou sayest. Why, even to hear the name doth transport me to times long past. Bread from another world, may I try some? Mayest thou, child? Thou must. That said, though, I personally disagree with the consensus. I do nonetheless advise thee to temper thine expectations. Wiser words have never been uttered. Oh, gosh. Though it rarely darkened our dining table at home, I can attest that it was standard fare at the studium. Indeed, a slice was never far from our peers' hands. Alfino, you really are an unbearable snob sometimes. Do you know that? Oh, God. What I believe my colleagues are trying to say is that we appreciate the gesture. Tell Tataru we'll do our best to return before she's forced to seek further supplementary employment. Right. Let's really be off now. We can find a drink to wash down the bread on the way. She just blew Elfino's mind. Call me an insufferable snob. Alright, well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up there, you guys, and when we come back, we'll continue the main story quest as well. But for right now, this is where we end this episode. So guys, I want to thank you so much for all of your support on this series. If you do want to see more of the Final Fantasy XIV online Let's Play, make sure to leave a like or subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Alright, bye-bye everyone!